Hey guys, Prowl1701 here. Today we're going to be talking about Doctor Who's first female director, Paddy Russell. Now, her actual name was Patricia Russell, but everyone called her Paddy. That was her nickname. She was born in 1928. She passed away in November of 2017. And not only was she the first female director of Doctor Who, but I believe she was also the first floor manager at the BBC, going off the Wikipedia page where I did some research. So obviously, you know, she was a trailblazer. And she directed 4 classic Doctor Who episodes. She directed The Massacre, which, again, The Massacre is completely missing, so it's really hard to judge. But this story is still well regarded. People seem to like The Massacre. It has a good reputation, even though, again, none of it exists. I don't think any footage from The Massacre exists. I think it's one of the 3 that no footage exists. But despite that, it still has a very good reputation. She also directed Invasion of the Dinosaurs, which is fantastic. Really, the only thing you can knock it for is the effect of the dinosaurs, and that's more the team Barry Letts went with to make the dinosaurs. So that's not really on her, in my opinion. And it's a banging story. It's well directed. A lot of fun. She also directed The Pyramids of Mars, which is a Stone Cold classic, and Horror of Fang Rock. Also a Stone Cold classic. 2 masterpieces. So if you look at her Doctor Who record by the reputation of her stories, she is 4-0. She is 4-0 at directing Doctor Who stories. Because The Massacre is well regarded. Invasion of the Dinosaurs, dinosaur effects aside, is well regarded. And Pyramids of Mars is considered one of the greatest Doctor Who episodes ever made. Horror of Fang Rock, also considered one of the best Doctor Who episodes ever made. Both Stone Cold classics. And you get this sense, I remember when I realized that Horror of Fang Rock and Pyramids of Mars were directed by the same person. I was like, wow. So I am really impressed with her body of work. I know she also was an actor before that. She was in, I believe, the 2 episodes of the Quatermass Experiment, because I think only 2 of those were actually recorded. She also did work on the Quatermass serials afterwards, behind the scenes. But that just impresses me that all 4 of her Doctor Who stories have such a good reputation. She was obviously a very good Doctor Who director, because I love the direction in Invasion of the Dinosaurs. I've never listened to The Massacre, but I am looking forward to that. I hope it gets animated one day. And I love the Horror of Fang Rock, and I love the Pyramids of Mars. Pyramids of Mars is one of my top 10 favorite Doctor Who stories of all time, period. I'm pretty sure if I ranked all of Doctor Who, it would be in the top 10. It's very good. It's probably my 2nd favorite Tom Baker story, maybe 3rd. City of Death being my favorite, and Pyramids battling with Genesis for 2nd place. It's just that good. And then I love Horror of Fang Rock. You guys know I love Horror of Fang Rock. I'm really excited for the updated effects in the season 15 set. So it just, when I was reading over her Doctor Who work, and I realized all 4 of her stories are just bangers. All 4 of them. I mean, I've never read The Massacre, but going off its reputation, I feel like I had to at least acknowledge that, because there were that and the fact, and people seem to think that, you know, classic Who was just an all-man show, a sausage fest or whatever, but there really were a lot of women in front of the camera and behind the camera at work, with, of course, Verity Lambert being the show's first producer. And with Classic Who actually had 5 female directors, as I recall. Julia Smith directed some in the 60s. You also had Fiona Cummings in the 80s. You had 2 more directors in the 80s as well. I believe the names are slipping away from me at the moment. I believe the final story to be directed by a woman in the 80s who was Mark of the Rani, which is a great story. My favorite Colin Baker story. So I just kind of wanted to talk about Paddy Russell and talk about how impressed I am with her Doctor Who body of work, because Massacre has such a good reputation. I like Invasion of the Dinosaurs a lot. It's a really good story, and it's executed well. And then I love Pyramids of Mars and Horror of Fang Rock. So I wanted to tip my hat to Paddy Russell. And just in case, perhaps if you're watching this, you weren't aware of who she was, you should go watch her stories. They're all really, really good. So if you've liked this video and want me to talk maybe about some of the other female directors in Doctor Who, let me know. Other things to do, don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button and the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me on that. There's a link to that down in the description below. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane, Colin Coney, and Finn Perkins. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. I also have a P.O. box as well, if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review. YouTube memberships are available, and a link to my Amazon wish list is down there as well. Most importantly, thank you for watching.